Basic type of the boiler. Classification. There are several ways to classify the boiler, such as based on the flow through the boiler tubes, whether fire tubes boiler or water tubes boiler. Based on the end user, such as the industrial boiler, utility boiler, marine boiler, or nuclear boiler. Based on type of the firing, such as a mass or pipe burning boiler, stoker fire boiler, burner fire boiler, bubbling fluid bed combustion boiler, circulating fluid bed combustion boiler or CFB boiler, pulverizing fire boiler or PF boiler, liquefied boiler or waste heat boiler. Based on the circulation, such as the natural circulation, forced circulation, one-screw boiler, or based on operating pressure, such as the subcritically boiler or supercritical boiler. However, the nature of classic of a boiler is depend on what flow through the boiler tubes. For example, fire tubes boiler or water tubes boiler. Fire or smoke fire tube in which the flue gas are inside the boiler tubes and water is outside or shell side. Water tubes boiler in which the water is inside the boiler tubes and flue gas are outside the tube or shell side. What is the water tubes boiler? Water tubes boiler is the water is circulated inside the tubes where the heat source surrounded them, which benefit to higher pressure can be toleranced for the same stress. Water tubes boiler application vary widely, such as the high steam output production up to the 500 kg per second. Higher pressure steam allowable may be up to the 250 bar G and superheated steam temperature up to the 550 degrees Celsius. Small water tubes boiler may be manufactured and assembled into the single unit, just like a package shell boiler, whereas the large units are usually manufactured in a section for assembly on the side. And many water tubes boilers operate on the principle of natural water circulation or called thermosiphoning. The advantage of the water tubes boiler. They have a small water content and thereby respond rapidly to load change and heat input. The small diameter tubes and stream drum mean that much higher steam pressure can be tolerated and up to 250 bar may be used in the power station. Often it's combined with more than one burner, which provide the opportunity for individual control shutdown for maintenance without having to turn the boiler off entirely. The burner can operate at a different load over the furnace to take into account fluctuation in demand resulting in reduced emission. The water tubes boiler can be designed to work with a high ash fuel in conjunction with the source blower system and to appropriate ash handling and full gas cleanup equipment. This means it is suitable for the biomass application as well. What is the disadvantage of the water tubes boiler? They are not as simple in the package from the shell boiler, which means that more work is required on site. The option of the multiple boiler may give the flexibility of the operation length. However, more burner use means the complex control systems are necessary, and the capital cost is normally higher than the equivalent fire tubes boiler. What is the fire tubes boiler? Fire tube boiler or shell boiler or smoke boiler is a boiler which the flue gas or combustion gas pass through the boiler tube, which in turn transfer heat to surrounding boiler water. It is important to note that the combustion gas should be cooled to at least 420 degrees Celsius for the plain steel carbon and 470 degrees Celsius for alloy steel boiler before entering to the reversal chamber. Temperature in excess of this cause overheating and cracking of the tube end plate. Several different combinations of the tube layout is available in the fire tube boiler involving in the number of the parts and the heat from the boiler furnace and will use full mix before being discharged. The below picture is a Scotch marine boiler, which is the most common type of industrial boiler due to the low initial cost and advantage in efficiency and durability. However, Scotch marine boiler contains a large amount of the water, which enabled them to respond load change with relatively little change in the pressure. So it requires more time to initiating steam and more time to accommodate the change of the steam pressure. Fire-tube boilers are basically suitable for the clean fuels such as the oil and gas, since the dusty fuel causes fouling and erosion and they traveling in the tubes. Smaller fires up to the only 35 tons per hour due to the size of the shell is limited. The pressure is not over than the 21 bar G or 300 psig. Smaller superheater approximate allows only 50 degrees Celsius above is possible, as they are arranged problem for the accomplish a large amount of the superheater surface. What is the advantage of fire-tube boiler? Fire-tube boilers are a lower cost alternatively to the water-tube boiler and often used for the smaller industrial facility with a lower operating pressure required. Fire-tube boiler is simple construction than the water-tube boiler, compact size and has ability to meet the fluctuation in steam demand. Disadvantage of the fire-tube boiler is the fire-tube boiler requires more time to raise the steam pressure because of the relatively large volume of the water inside. Fire-tube boiler inability to quick respond to sustain with a large load change due to the large volume of the water available. The efficiency of the fire-tube boiler is lower than the water-tube boiler due to the thermal radiation is useless. Compare between the water-tube boiler and fire-tube boiler. Water-tube boiler, water in tubes. Fire-tube boiler, fuels gas in tubes. Maximum pressure of the water-tube boiler is around 250 bar. Fire-tube boiler is only the 21 bars. Water-tube boiler better respond with the load change, but the for fire-tube low response with the load change. Water-tube faster start up, but the fire-tube require more time to start up. However, water-tubes high investment cost, high operating cost, and require bigger footprint and difficult to transport. But the benefit of the fire-tube boiler is low investment cost, low operating cost, and size is very compact, so more easy to transportation. So this is the compare between the water-tube boiler and fire-tube boiler. Thank you for watching the video and let's see our next video. Bye bye.